All right, thank you very much. All right, well, today I want to focus on one simple idea that climate change, with all of its complexities and challenges, can be addressed by games. That all the social, political, and economic obstacles that we face can be overcome if we just play the right kinds of games. By we, I'm talking about individuals. The billions of people around the globe who will affect climate change directly through their actions and indirectly through their collective political will. Today, what we're going to do is look at how games can overcome key problems in education and engagement, and then look at emerging platforms to see what lies ahead. First, let me conceptualize the problem of addressing individuals around climate change in two ways: a problem of information and a problem of behavior. Research has identified a gamut of obstacles that fall under these two categories: declining public concern, the increasing politicization of information, enacting a unified worldwide effort on climate change, and getting people to change their everyday actions and behaviors, just to name a few. All of these can be considered problems of information or problems of behavior. Now, before I proceed, I do have a little confession to make. I'm from Texas, the land of oil and barbecue. Now, if you've ever tried to mention climate change in Texas, it's like you've said a very dirty word. Climate changing? That's blasphemy. Climate change has been increasingly politicized, and as a result, many people do not have enough or the right information. On top of that, the information that they should have is complex, involving a host of understandings from a variety of fields. But games can address both these issues. First, they are at their core apolitical. A good game can and will be played by both Democrats and Republicans. A great example of this is SimCity, a multi-million-dollar franchise that now incorporates climate change into its mechanics. It's just one example of how games can hit a wide spectrum of people and deliver information in a way that is not so divided along political lines. Second, games can educate. Research has shown over and over again that games can be used as effective pedagogical tools. They can simulate and model complex physical processes and demonstrate technology. Role-playing games allow users to interact and participate, to learn about economic and political considerations in an authentic way. One great example is Dr. Varga's own Climate Interactive. It's a collection of simulations that allows users to manipulate hundreds of variables, such as fuel prices, energy consumption, population growth, to model the effect on the world's climate. Through interaction and participation, users are able to learn about political and economic considerations in an authentic way. They're able to develop mental models, and they're able to also learn about climate change from a systems perspective. So games can educate in a way that is non-political. But what about people's behaviors regarding climate change? What will get people to change their everyday actions and habits? Here, let us consider extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation are things like monetary incentives for reducing consumption, fines for not recycling electronic waste, social affirmation for green behavior. Intrinsic motivation occurs when these activities bring satisfaction in and of themselves. It's the type of satisfaction that occurs when no one is looking, because those things are simply the right thing to do. Now, intrinsic motivation is the more powerful of the two, and games have a unique way of building it. This is because they strongly tap into emotion and empathy while delivering the right kind of information in a compelling way. Take, for example, the card game Eco-Chain's Arctic Crisis, developed by my colleagues Stephanie Furman and Joey Lee at Columbia University. It's a card game where players spend time building food webs supporting different Arctic species. During the course of the game, you start to develop a certain attachment to the animals under your care. Eventually, due to climate change events, these animals get killed off when they can no longer be supported by melting sea ice. Now, in a subtle, or I guess not so subtle way, the game engenders empathy while delivering scientifically sound information in a compelling way. This is exactly the type of experience necessary to convince somebody that taking action on climate change is the right thing to do. And if someone experiences this over and over again, this will lead to real behavioral change. Climate change games can be found in a wide variety of formats, from card games, board games, and computer games, but the area with largest potential growth is on mobile platforms. Mobile technology has allowed for the development of a wide variety of completely new types of climate change games, especially ones that take advantage of things like GPS, cameras, and interconnected systems. These games are called Pervasive Games because they combine elements of digital technology with real-world gameplay. One example is Habitat, developed by Australia-based Elevator Entertainment. In it, players care for a polar bear by completing mini-games and real-world missions. The missions focus on environmentally friendly actions, and the games use the GPS to award players location-based pins. It's a great example of a pervasive game that combines digital technology and real-world gameplay. Emerging games are also beginning to make greater use of social media. One example of this is EcoCoin, another one of our projects under development at Columbia. In this game, players complete missions focused around sustainability. They take a picture of their actions, and they rate each other's actions on impact, with the highest impact actions earning coins, which can be redeemed for rewards. We are very excited about where this project is going. Now, this last example is the oldest of the three, but I think one of the best harbingers of what is to come. About 8 years ago, Swedish developers Bang, Gustafsson, and Katzef developed a game called Power Agent. In this game, players compete to reduce power consumption in their home. The game uses actual data from in-home metering devices. Now, this game requires separate third-party hardware, but soon this capability will come standard in all of our home utilities and appliances. Real-time data will be available on our mobile phones, paving the way for innovative and imaginative games. I think this technology holds a lot of promise for the future. Games can hit both the informational and the behavioral targets necessary to address climate change. At the same time, newer games can use real-time data to track environmental impact. But the most important thing is that games are fun. They're a form of entertainment. It's a unique medium with high intrinsic value. People have always played games, and they will always continue to play games. It's just a matter of what kind of games they will play. With continued effort, innovation, and investment, there will be games that will help us as individuals and as a global community address climate change. Thank you very much.